It is now our great pleasure to have remarks given by Senior Chief Rickard. The floor is yours.
Oddly enough, I've got my QTC appointments in this binder. If you guys don't know what that is, that's your VA claim disability, all my ouches and hurts and stuff. I'm going to try to take this slow. Not too slow, Floyd. Okay, not Floyd slow. But a lot of times I try to get through it rather than absorb it and go through it. I'm going to give that a shot over the next few hours here, okay? Thanks, Ops, XO, CMC, for allowing me to do this, for allowing me to get my kids out there this morning. I can't think of better of a way to finish a career than to be out on an LCAC. That's all I ever wanted to do. And for everyone here to allow me to make that happen was great. Thank you so much. I'm really lost for words. There's a good chance I'm going to cuss. There's probably a good chance I may cry. If you guys know me, I kind of wear my emotions right out there for everybody to see. But I'm going to try to keep it locked up. There's so much I want to say to so many of you today. I'm humbled and I'm filled with gratitude, and I don't know quite how to process it. Shut up, Chad. I'm extremely thankful for that you're all here. Everyone has been instrumental in the family or my career. I don't need that. Luke Bull, I want to thank you for being awesome retirement coordinator. Many years ago, I was introduced probably to the first aviation guy, and he just absolutely, that I ever had a chance to really serve directly with, and he drove me absolutely batshit crazy. And he's sitting right here beside me. Back in 2011, Gamaro and I were our first engineer, craft master item back when I was an engineer. And I didn't quite understand how he was wired, and it just threw me for a loop. And I know what it did. It prepared me for the last 4 years, because I met Luke and Chad and all these other aviation twidgets, and it brought me patience. Luke's been with me for about 3 years now. We served in the Chief Petty Officer Association for a while and came up with some good ideas that got batted down by COVID. But nonetheless, we came up with good ideas, so we'll do that. Luke, thanks for taking the reins and being my MC today. You've done a great job putting this all together and making sure that everything was as perfect as it could be. Thank you, my brother. So Justin Oxford, where you at, Justin? We ran out of LCPOs because we've let Justin take the lead on being in charge of operations for the last week. Ops, what in the hell is wrong with you? Justin has done a great job. He's making sure this day's captured. Justin's our public affairs officer here, and making sure that pictures are taken and that we get great shots of the LCAC. I almost ran over 3 people coming in the surf a while ago because they were getting some great pictures. So I'm looking forward to see that. Justin, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for taking this on and making sure this all went well. John. John, Janika, and I, the guy in the middle here, we've been together since the Jarrett. We were E2s together. We came up together. We did a lot of struggling together, and he's been chasing me around. He's been heavy on my scent for a few years now. I want to thank you for being my sponsor and taking on this role. You gave me a heart attack a few years ago here at the base of the ramp. So I'm glad you stuck with it. I'm glad you're here. This program loves you. They need you. Your sense of calm and resilience is, bar none, the best I've ever seen. We are not the same person in that regard whatsoever, but sometimes he's yin to my yang. I almost had him retiring with me here a few months ago. He actually called me. It was his idea. And I was at the door on the way out, and he was behind me, and he's here, and I'm not. We were going to ride off into the sunset, and Cabernet and Tracy would have figured it out. They were going to have all our money anyway. So I've got something for you. A few years ago, a good friend of mine sitting two seats down sent these to me in Hawaii. Said I'd need them. And a few minutes ago, he said some things that kind of rang a bell with me, and this uniform doesn't define me. These anchors don't define me. I'm proud of it, but you're going to need these pretty quick, and you're going to need them soon. So here you go, brother. Absolutely. All right.
Thanks, Nate. You're not going to make me cry. Okay, so something that some of you may know, 3-2 was Nate's first boat as an engineer with Cam, right? And that was my first boat here at ACU 5. I took her on deployment. Great boat, best boat on the apron, right, Matt? Matt's got her now. But that's just one more thing that we share together. We're on VBSS together. We weren't together at ATG, but we both did a tour there. And we've been at ACU 5 since 17. I was a class behind him for Craft Master School. So this is my longest friend I've ever had, 20 years, right? That's one of the hard parts of being in the Navy. People come and go, but Nate is really good, and I know there's a lot of people out here that can attest to this, at keeping in touch and making you part of his life and making you feel like a brother. So for that, I really do appreciate you. I haven't had my brother alongside for my 20-year career, and you've always been there for me, and I appreciate that. I'm going to gift you my shield that my kids and I made prior to my last deployment. This was flown overseas on deployment on the airbox at 3-2. It was made by my family, and I want to give it to you because you are my family.
I've got a thing for Johns, apparently, John Fessler, John Janika. And I didn't like either one of them in the beginning either, at all. Talk about that later. John Fessler, thank you for being my guest speaker. I knew something intelligent was going to come out of your mouth, and I just kind of braced for it. So you get used to doing that in the military, just kind of brace for shock. You've been one of my best friends since entering this program a little over 10 years ago. You taught me so much about LCAC operations and about the community. Thank God I didn't learn how to fly from or navigate from you, though. I'm not sure we'd be here today, and they would never have let me float this craft in today. On a serious note, you've always been one of my biggest supporters. Hell, come to think of it, you might be my only supporter out here. It's odd that you and I are so different. You've always been reserved and tactful, and let's face it, I'm not. But you always saw the potential and the give a shit I had. Friend, I can't thank you enough for investing your time and family into me. I look forward to many more years together. Thank you for being here. To all my friends and family who traveled from afar to be here, Mom, Joe, Sean and Diane, John and Aaron, Elisa, Wade, Tanya, Scott, Heather, Bob and Lisa, Dave and Justine, Gamaro and Danielle, and Adrian and Nikki, and all my other friends and family, both from here, EWC, GPAC, NBG. NBG, we're not doing any inspections today, right? Last time I invited you up. Okay, thanks, Mikey. All right. We're not doing DCO. It's all right. I'm done. It's gone. To the Walsh family. Mary and Joan, thank you for being here. I wish Joe and B were here. I'm so proud. What's that? There we go. I'm so proud to have been in their life. Joni, can you stand up? Mary? In 2011, when I got here, I made chief, and we were tasked, and I won't go through the story too long, but I was tasked to go meet a Pearl Harbor survivor. Well, long story short, we met about 10 of them, and the Walsh family was one of the families we met, and we've become very close. And Mary and Joan's father and mother passed away about 2 years ago now, but they were very heavily involved in our life, to include 2 reenlistments ago, discharging me and reenlist me. I'm proud to be in your life. Thank you for being here. We love you. See a lot of Jarrett folks out here. To Captain Hospital, my first CO. I see you there, sir. You had long hair last time I saw you. You want a VW or anything, sir? No? All right. Sir, a few years ago, I sent you an email about this a few months ago, but early in 2003, I caught a case, if you will. A hatch fell during a drill and didn't open, and I was held accountable to it. And luckily, I had built up some credibility over the years, particularly with Captain Hospodar, who was my first commanding officer of the Navy. Captain Hospodar, can you stand up, sir? I went to Captain's Mass and kind of went through the gauntlet. And Captain Hospodar did 2 things for me. I don't know if you remember the second, but the first one you did was basically let me go. And he knew I'd built up the credibility, he knew it wasn't malicious, but he showed grace and allowed me to continue on without any reprimand. The other thing he did, and was probably more monumental than anything, is he stopped me from going to the Naval Academy. I don't tell a lot of people that I was on my way there, but at one time that was what was in my career path. And Captain Hospodar said, I'm going to wait, and you need to season up for a few years before I recommend it again. And that would have been a shitty SWO. PowerPoints and Excel just is not my thing. And so I thank you for stopping me from doing that. Thank you for showing me grace. That's something that we need to continue to show. Mike Coyle. Mike Coyle was, bar none, one of my sea daddies, if you will, early on. Very tough. We spent a lot of time on the back and aft steering on the Jarrett. We had a rudder post, and you had to pump it to get it to go a certain amount of times to get it go a degree. Well, he thought that was humorous to see us do that. So anytime we screwed up, rather than send us to Captain Mass or get us in trouble, he'd go put us on the rudder pump. And he'd sit there and go, right, rudder? And so there'd be a line of us a lot of times in line to do this. And anyway, so Mike made me tough for sure. Got me my first EL letter, put the work into me, so thank you. Ryan Rupp. Ryan, I saw you with a beard somewhere. Ryan Rupp, I think he wanted to be an OS, really. He was a topsider, always wanted to be on the quarterdeck, all that stuff, nothing to do with engineering. But anyway, Ryan became a great friend. I followed him to ATG. He led me at ATG as a chief for a few years. Thanks for being here, brother. We did a lot of VBSS boardings together. Got bombarded with this gentleman on a ship one night about, was it tea and biscuits for like 2 hours straight. We'd been doing boardings all day long, and we just had a lot of memories together. What I want to focus on today is not my career, much of that for that matter. I want to be all about you in this relationship. The real reason many of us are here today is because of the struggle we encounter, not the good times. Whether it be at home with our families or our lives out to sea. There's many stories about individual success, but individual success is not what makes me proud. It's the relationships forged with all of you over the years because we were side by side embracing the suck together. When we tell sea stories, I really think of a time the sea story was because everything was going right. I can think of plenty of times when we did something stupid in a foreign port, which oftentimes ended up being pretty humorous and embracing. Don't worry, Captain Hospital, we kept it in the box. John Fessler, I could always tell the time about how your tub were navigating the bars in Singapore, but I think you brought that up at your retirement. I can think of plenty of times when things got rough, when we were tired, broken, sad, lost, spent, tempers were flaring, and when the light at the end of the tunnel was an oncoming train. I think about many times aboard Jarrett in 2013 and our Foxtrot workups in 2000. I'm sorry, Jarrett in 2003 and our Foxtrot workup in 2013. Many of you might think, "Damn, Nate, that's awful negative." I'm proud as hell of it. It's not the good times that brought us here. It was the living together through the rough times with you. It's the common suffrage and the fact that we've all had each other's back through some pretty nasty seasons. So with every fiber in my body, I want to thank you for living life with me and for struggling with me and for thinking enough of me to be here today. There's certainly some things I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss that feeling I had this morning about 7:30 right before the crafts coming on cushion. See, each craft's a little bit different. And when they come on cushion, you're not real sure what it's going to do, even when control checks go well. There's about a split second when you put the power in, you pop up, and you've got to control it. And then your mind goes at ease. That's a rush I'll never forget. I'm definitely going to miss the bantering and the heckling that goes on. But don't worry, I'll keep that up. I'm going to miss the feeling that comes across in the middle of chaos. Oddly enough, I find there are times when I'm most peaceful at that time. My mind's clear and I know exactly what to do. It's the calm times that I'm not sure about at times. I'm definitely going to miss wearing this uniform, John, but I understand what you're saying, brother. It definitely was my cape. I was doing my childhood dream since the time I was 5. I'm going to miss being out to sea and part of the machine that's so magnificent in capability and intent that we can't control it. It's definitely a sense of invincibility. Before I talk about this journey in my family, I need to say a few things to officer and junior sailors to the mess. In Ronald Reagan's famed We Are America speech, he speaks about a gentleman named Martin Treptow, who in 1917 left his barbershop in Wisconsin to go to fight in France with the Frame Rainbow Division. Though Treptow's life was taken, his diary stated, "America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone." President Reagan goes on to say that we must realize that no arsenal or weapon in any arsenal in the world is more formidable in will and moral courage of a free man and women. It is a weapon our adversary of today does not have. These words are true today as they were 30 years ago. Capability, technology, or intangibles will not be what wins the next war. It'll be heart and grit. To my officers, I love you. Thank you for the mentorship throughout the years. Continue to show grace like Captain Hospodar did with me. In today's Navy, Nimitz never would have made admiral due to the fact that he ran the Decatur aground in 1907 in the Philippines. He took a cot to the bridge and put it on the bridge and stayed overnight until the tide was high enough to get it off. When they took him to court-martial, they said that his credibility was enough to keep him out of trouble, and they let him to continue on and became an admiral. In today's Navy, we would bury them. They would never advance. How do you know how our sailors are going to act if we don't give them adversity and let them weather through it? Yes, we need to hold ourselves accountable. Those are cases we must see the real warfighters are. And while accountability must be held, grace and investment must be shown. To my junior sailor, the time is coming. Our purpose is not to get a degree, a citizenship, or even start a family. Let me be clear. We're here to fight and act on behalf of the nation's calling. Everything else is secondary. You're smarter with more technology and physically more capable than ever before. The life of a sailor or service member is not to be easy. Absorb what's around you, challenge yourself, and continue to make the mission happen like you always have. America does not need senior enlisted or senior officers. We're just here to ensure that we stay steady as she goes. You're the driving force behind all of this. You have the opportunity to make the most difference. I'm proud to have served with every one of you. Thank you for kicking ass. Continue to grind. To the mess. Our purpose in this Navy is not to be white collar. We We can be intelligent, sophisticated, and tactful if you must, but we're not here to beat around the bush. The chief met us where the grit and tenacity lies. We're the keeper of the Navy's history and tradition long before the official title of chief was ever established. We owe it to our sailors to train and ready them for the worst to come. Like a father his children, we're not their friends, but that does not mean we do not show compassion and love when we must. Continue to set the standard like the mess always has. Continue to be the expert, and continue to grind your asses off. We owe it to them. Thank you for the great times. Thank you for the bad times. Thank you for having my back and grinding with me. I'm going to miss the hell out of all of you. Most importantly, I'm going to miss the struggle. I don't know that everyone in life truly chases their life's purpose, but I think all of us have one. This was mine. I wholeheartedly believe in the intent of our Constitution, our flag, and our blood, sweat, and tears from which our fathers and the veterans before us intended it to be. In my mind, being a chief is not what I did. It's absolutely who I am, physically and mentally. Growing up, I wanted to follow one of my older brothers who is here today. Thank God that didn't happen. I would have been a corpsman. And probably not flying one of these awesome machines behind me. Sean, you gave me purpose and direction, driving force in my desire to join now. I wouldn't recommend following his leads and impure thoughts. Keep your kids away. Brother, thank you for giving me a path to follow. Although we're very different in many ways, we also share this common bond. I'm humbled that you and Diane could be here and share this part with me today. To my brother, John, thank you for toughening me up. We fought like hell. He's a biter. This nail's still not right. 15 years ago. It won't grow back. He bites when he's losing. Watch out. But my brother made me tough. And as I got older, you've been here to show me a lot of love and support. Thank you, Aaron and Preston, for being here as well. I appreciate the relationship we have and look forward to catching up on lost time. Elisa, you and David have done everything possible to show love and affection to our family, from traveling to California for Christmas and random trips to Hawaii. Thank you for traveling all this way to support Cabernet and the kids and I. Mom, you always ensured that I was taken care of and gave me the kind of love a son needs from his mother. Thanks for volunteering me for shit my entire childhood. It really prepared me for life in the military. I'm now better and angrier for it. But on a serious note, thank you for supporting and believing me through the years. I love you and Joe. Dad and Betty, if you can see this, you taught me attention to detail and how to hold myself accountable. Our summers together as a kid made me appreciate being on a lake, fishing without a care in the world. I hope that in the coming months we get back to that. Thank you for loving and supporting me. Skip and Charlie, you have treated me like your son, trusting me with your daughter's heart and supporting us literally across the ocean. I'm going to talk about my wife in a minute, but your love and support has been instrumental in our family's success. Thank you for loving me like a son and being there for my family. You showed me that a mother-in-law can be bribed through ice cream, and we sold a car over it. I'll let you tell that story later. To my son, Caden, buddy, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to just having time with you. You have the intelligence of your mom and the humor of your dad. You're going to go far. You might get fired for agitating the boss, but you'll go far. I'm proud of the young man you're becoming, no matter how much you antagonize your sisters. I get it. I see the protective instinct kick in when they're in danger, and the love and compassion you show them when they are truly in need. You even put mom at ease when she's most stressed. You coming out on a Tiger cruise was one of the highlights of my career. I can't tell you how proud I am of the memories we made. I love you. Thank you for being my son. To my daughter, Kendall, my love bug. Baby, I've told you time and time again, you're the bright light in our family, the one who can make the worst day a positive one. We as a family need you more than ever because you make everything better. Continue to be loving, caring, and smart. You have your mom's beauty and the combined energy of both of us. Yeah. Your attitude is infection, and the world is a better place because you're here. You have a knack for bringing people together and will almost certainly force me to like more people. Something I'm not fond of. I love you so much and look forward to being a part of your craziness now we've all have more time. Daddy loves you and thank you for your support and kindness. Kennedy, our little spicy meatball. Baby, you're without a doubt the Beth of our family. Sorry, Michelle. You're loyal, courageous, and fearless. I have no worry about you when it comes to men. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when that time comes. Although I love to agitate you, probably not as much as Caden, I adore your strong will and determination. It makes me proud. I've watched you take on challenges and excel through adversity. Continue to be the fighter that you are, baby. The world needs more of you. I look forward to seeing you thrive in the world. I'll always have your back. Thank you for being my spicy meatball. Here's the hard one. Cabernet. I don't know where to start. I choose to talk about you last because I want this to be the last time that you're last. You don't deserve it. You deserve to be put first in all that you do. But I want one of the last things our friends and family to hear about is you. Without you, none of the other stuff mattered, nor would it have been possible. You've been the absolute rock of our family, serving our country and our family with more loyalty and heart than imaginable. Thank you for showing me compassion and grace over the 14 years of our marriage when I didn't deserve it. I know I'm hard. My only saving grace is that I know you know where my heart's at. When I told you I made up my mind that we were retiring, the first thing you said was, I know you love it. You can keep going. I think maybe at the time you thought I might. It only solidified my decision. I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to give the Navy my all, and thank you for giving me and this country your all. I want to support you in the next chapter of our lives like you've supported me. I can't promise you I won't fail at times, but I can promise you that I won't quit trying to be the man you deserve, and that I'll always love you, and I will always love you with all I have. However, I cannot promise you that I'll always like you. We just know how to push your buttons, and it's so fun. Thank you for being my wife. I love you so much. Kate and my girls, as you grow older, I want you to be yourself and to be what God intended you to be. But if you're ever looking for a role model when it comes to class, humility, dedication, love, and compassion, you don't have to look far. Your mother's one of the best to ever do it. She's the example we should all hope to find in ourselves, and the ones we choose to spend our life with. She's one of the best to ever do it. In closing, I want you all to know without a doubt, I fell short on numerous occasions, but I woke up every day with the intent of doing the right thing. I believed in what we were working towards was the right reasons and for selfless reasons. The Navy was the easiest thing I've ever done. From a young age, I was passionate and eager to serve. What I'm proud of is the professional growth that has come with it. I learned early that race, creed, religion, sexuality doesn't make a damn. The country is ran on the backs of the most diverse fighting force ever known, and we're better for it. Many of you know I'm not the philosophical type. I usually call it like I see it, and I'm pretty candid. But deep inside, there's a poem that resonates deep with me, and it's the way I can hope to live in the next chapter of my life, titled Live Your Life by Chief Tecumseh. So live your life. The fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others and their views, and demand they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long in its purpose in the service of people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. Always get a word of sign or gratitude when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you rise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for thanks, the fault lies in yourself. Abuse no one or no thing, for abuse turns the wise to fools and robs the spirit of the vision. When it comes time to die, be not like the ones who are filled with the fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little bit more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. I want to thank you for the support, the memories, the sacrifice, and then most of all, thank you for being here. I love you all. Ops, I'm ready to go ashore.
Stop asking questions. It's under your belt.
It's getting different up here.
Can't take him nowhere. That don't make no difference.
Just a little trivia, if you weren't aware, I'm sure he has it. He has two belt loops close together on the starboard side of the uniform. It's called 38 Special. You got it right. Thank you, Senior Chief Ricker.
For 20 years, these sailors stood his watch.
This sailor stood to watch.
While some of us were in school, learning our trades, this sailor stood to watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood to watch.
Storm clouds of war has been seen. The sailor stood to watch.
Many times he would cast an eye on the shore or on these bleachers and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold on to during those hard times. But this sailor stood to watch.
He stood to watch for 20 years. He stood to watch so that we, our families, and our other countrymen can sleep safely and soundly at night, knowing that Senior Chief stood to watch.
Today, we're here to say, shipmate, you stand relieved. Relieved by the sailors you trained, the sailors you guided, and the sailors you led. Shipmate, you are relieved. We have the watch. And salute. Ready, two.
I stand relieved. John, you're going to need this high chair for Burrell.
He's been over here too. Thank you.
Don't break it.
Great speech. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Senior Chief Retired Gamora Cameron will now deliver our benediction. Yes, will the guests please rise? Thank you.
So a little bit of backstory on that whole belt buckle thing. When I had my final salute, over here at the unit messing around, and I forgot my tie over here at the unit. But I walked in and I said, "Oh man, I forgot my tie." I don't know if I said a swear word or not. We were in the house of the Lord, so Nate came through for me. He threw another tie at me and said, "Here, put this on, cupcake." So may we pray. Lord, as we leave here today, we ask that you continue to cloak us in the protection from the hem of your garment. Bless us and protect us as Nate, Cabernet, Kendall, Kennedy, and Caden depart the terminal and set sail into the next chapter of their lives. Guide them. Every now and then, give Nate the eye and let him know to take his hands off the wheel because you can do your job. We just ask for your continued support and grace. Comfort them and keep them as they go forward into this next journey of their lives, and protect them from danger. Lord, we thank you and we love you. In your almighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Kim. Post the side, boys. ACU 5, attention. Chief's mess fall in. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Ship. Senior Chief Bricker will now request permission to go ashore from his final time from Lieutenant Commander.
Sir, request permission to go ashore for the final time.
Yes, sir.
Time orderly. Strike 2 bells. Senior Chief Nathan T. Bricker, United States Navy, retired, departing. Two bells. United States Navy, family, retired, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, today's ceremony. Thank you for attending.